Yo, yo. So inside of this video, what I wanted to run through was really just a super raw behind the scenes, I guess, breakdown of what I'm trying and testing out at the moment. And the reason why I wanted to run through this is to, I guess, show to you that I'm always trying and testing different things to make sure that not only am I maximizing and improving my own business, but I'm also finding new and improved ways and efficient ways for my clients to obviously get clients, make money, and do all of that. So what I'll do is walk you through what my goals are. I'll talk a little bit about modeling the rise and why that's really important to understand, what the larger market formula is and how that correlates to then the sales funnel that I'm looking at optimizing myself. And then I'm going to give you a peek behind the scenes at some of the funnels and stuff that I'm also looking at launching in the coming days and testing, and a funnel that I've already launched that's already performing quite well. So without wasting any time, because I'll try and keep this as efficient because I'm pretty good at getting on a tangent, but my primary goals right now at this point in my business, I've broken past that beginner level inside of Freedom Coach. I've established a solid foundation. I've got consistent revenue coming in each month. And honestly, if I wasn't to try and scale things and progress things even further, then I would be totally fine financially. But the growth aspect inside of me, whatever you want to call it, the drivenness, it's what I have at the moment is still not good enough. And you can sit back and be like, oh, why don't you be happy with what you got? And you could do all that kind of bullshit. But to be honest, fuck that shit. I'm here to make a lot of money in this world, and there are big and expensive things that I want in my life, and there is certain things that I want to be able to do and experience in my life that require me to earn a particular amount of money. So even though that I'm doing quite well right now compared to some, where I'm at, I'm not at the level that I would like to be at yet. So if that isn't in alignment with you and you think that I should be happy with what I've got, then probably close this video down. But there's a pretty good chance if you're watching this from me, then you're already aligned with all of the stuff that I like doing and I talk about and that sort of thing. So what are my goals at the moment? Well, right now I'm trying to optimize tofu, mofu, and bofu. So what this is top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. So when we look at the marketing process or journey that somebody goes on, they will eventually go through this sales funnel. Now, I'm not going to break down what a sales funnel is in this video. YouTube, you can do that. But essentially what happens is you will get a whole bunch of people. You've got people up here in the biz out in there in the wide world, and you need them to come through this funnel down through here so you can eventually close them as a client inside of your coaching business. Now, tofu is your top of funnel, so this is awareness. Mofu is your middle of funnel, which is sort of more so nurturing, and then bofu is the bottom of funnel, which is where we're looking at actually converting leads into clients. So I'll break down that in a bit more depth in a few minutes' time, but the next thing that I'm focusing on here is creating customers for easy clients. Now, there's a really big difference between a customer and a client. A customer is someone who has just purchased something from you before. So you'll see in a moment's time, I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about some lower ticket items that I'm actually going to have for sale inside of Freedom Coach and how that creates customers which turn into really easy clients down the line. My other primary objective right now is to make leads chase me. So if you know anything about me and what I do at the moment, I utilize the Instagram growth funnel that a lot of the sort of business gurus are using at the moment, and it works extremely well. But what happens is there is a lot of hustle on our side talking to leads in the DMs and outbound messaging. Even though they're warm leads and they're warm outbound messages, it gets heavy, especially if you do want to continue to scale faster. It's like looking at hiring a team and getting an appointment setter in and doing all that sort of thing. And for me right now, I don't want to hire anyone. I have a virtual assistant who works for me part-time. At the time of filming this, of course, I may change my mind down the line. However, right now at this point in my life and this season of my life, I don't want a team. So I'm looking at ways where I can scale my business further without needing to bring people in. So in that case, how do I do that? Well, instead of me hustling and doing more, why don't I flip the script here and get leads to chase me? So I'll walk you through that process. My other goal at the moment is getting off sales calls. Now, I'm actually in the process of doing this at the moment. I haven't taken a sales call for a while. I've been selling with a document. And basically, I'm sitting at, I think, around a 40% close rate. For a document, that's actually extremely good. So if I can really solidify that and make good money without being on sales calls altogether, amazing for me and my business. But then if I can really validate that system, my goal is to try and test everything first before deploying this in with my clients. So if I can get a good system in place with that, which I feel like I already have, then I can now show my clients how to use that system, and now they can get off sales calls and they can leverage themselves as well. I'm growing multiple audiences. So my primary focus since May, funnily enough, it's been basically 12 months now, so it makes sense for me to start to diversify, is I'm looking at growing multiple audiences now. My primary focus has just been growing an Instagram account, which is going well. It's steady growth. It's nothing viral, but I'm making a lot of money from it. However, you know what it's like? If that Instagram account goes down, I'm fucking done. So I'm focusing on building out a second audience, which I'll walk you through soon. Stacking more monthly recurring revenue. That's pretty obvious. I just want to make more money. Trying to leverage myself through systems and automation even further. So again, when I walk you through some of the stuff that I'm focusing on at the moment, you'll see how I've systemized and automated a lot of it. And then I'm looking at splitting Freedom Coach up into 3 offers. So we'll have Start, we'll have Up Level, and then we'll have Legacy. Now these are going to be 3 different tiered offers. Start is pretty obvious. It's going to be for these coaches who are more so the beginners, the ones that don't have a lot of cash, that need to get their foot in the door but can't afford my primary coaching program at the moment. Up Level is where you're sort of gotten some traction, you're making some money, now you're looking at scaling. And then Legacy is going to be a very tight-knit group of coaches who are sort of doing, I don't have any set rules right now, but I'm thinking coaches that are doing 15 to 20K a month or above. It's a small group and we're focusing on scaling things really efficiently whilst leveraging system and automation. So those are my goals at the moment. I wanted to walk you through that first because it's going to help you just understand, I guess, the overarching thing of what I'm trying to do at the moment. Now, the important thing to understand here with this is don't look at me now and go, shit, I need to be doing all of that stuff if you are not in my position. I'll make that clear. If you're a coach and you're just trying to transition online, don't watch this video and look at me with what I'm doing and go, wow, I need to do all of this stuff that Josh is doing, because what I'm doing right now is extremely complicated compared to the things that you need to do right back at the beginning. If you're a coach who's gotten some traction, you're starting to transition online, again, I still wouldn't be trying to copy and model what I'm doing. There is no right or wrong time to, I guess, deploy the things that I'm looking at testing and utilizing right now. However, you need that first foundation layer set. And usually it's just having one offer, one channel, making it really easy, getting yourself to around 8 to 10K a month, have that consistent, and then start to look at introducing some of these things later down the line. So when I talk about modeling the rise, a lot of coaches will look at people who are already doing well. They're already at their goal. So for example, they would look at, say, someone like Gary Vee or Alex Hormozy, or I'm nowhere near their level, but like if you're way below where I'm at right now, you're, say, down here, step 0, I'm up here at the top of this staircase. Don't look at me and go, oh, I need to be doing everything that Josh is doing right now. Yes, it's important that you look at what I'm doing to prove to yourself and so that you can see that like what you're going to do works, of course. But in saying that as well, you want to look at actually modeling the rise. So you want to look at modeling what I have done to get to the point where I'm at now, to try the things that I'm trying. So where I'm at right now is not what I was doing way back in May and June of last year. In June of last year, I'll walk you through in a moment what I was doing, but it was extremely simple. Now that I've reached a certain point in my business, I'm looking at diversifying things further. So this isn't to say that what I was doing is no longer working. It most definitely still works. But the focus here for you is, if you're not at my level, don't try and do the things that I'm trying to do now. Try and look at doing the things that I have done to get to the level I'm at. And I hope that makes sense, because a lot of people, they focus on, oh, I need to do everything that Alex Hormozy is doing right now. I need to post 5 times a day and I need to do all this stuff. And it's like, you're not at that point yet. What did that person do way back when they were getting started? Focus on that and at that point in their journey, and then try and model and copy that, as opposed to what I'm doing right now at my point in my business. So next thing we need to look at is what the larger market formula is. Now, shout out to the, guru in the marketing space, Sabri Subi. He actually created this, so I haven't come up with this. But essentially, you can look at breaking down any market into 4 core areas. We have 3% of the market who are buying right now. They're in a buying mindset. We have 17% of the market that you're going to work in who are in information gathering mode. These people are just looking. They're the ones that are just reading things and downloading stuff, and they're browsing. They're not really ready to buy, but they're interested. We then have people in the 20% of the market You can see that these are getting quite big now, these areas, who are just problem aware, right? There's only 20% of your market who are actually aware that they have a problem. Then we look at the bottom of the market, the 60%, which is the vast majority of your market. They don't even realize that they have a problem. So a really easy way to break this down and understand this is, let's say you're a fat loss coach and you help people lose weight. Just really, really simple. 60% of the people that you want to work with don't even realize or are ignoring the fact that they are overweight. 60%. So out of 100 people, 60 of those people don't think they have a problem, or they don't even realize that they have a problem. Isn't that crazy? 60% of your market. That's a lot of people. Then 20% of that market, so out of, let's say, 100 people, only 20 of them actually realize that they have a problem. So if we use the weight loss example, 20% of your market know they're overweight, know it's a problem, but that's the level of awareness that they're at. They're not seeking for a solution. They're not trying to fix it. They just know that they're fat. They know that they're overweight. Then 17% of the market, well, they know that they're fat. They know they're overweight. Now what they're looking at doing is like, okay, I know I've got a problem. How can I fix this? So they're the ones that are like Googling, should I do keto or low carb or high carb or calorie deficits, or do I need to do cardio to lose weight? They're the ones that are in information gathering mode. They're searching for solutions to fix the problem that they have. Once they've gotten enough information or they've found the right vehicle to help them get the result, now they move into buying now. They're in a position where they know they're fat, they know they've got a problem, they know that your solution exists. Now they just have to have the right offer put in front of their face to make them want to buy. Now it's really, really important that you understand this with marketing. And this is something that like I talk about with my clients a lot of the time, is understanding what these different layers are and at what point your prospects are at within their journey. Because a lot of paid marketing will focus just on the 3% of people in your market. And it's a highly competitive space. And I'm not to say that paid ads don't work. If you know anything about me, I use a combination of paid ads and content. Why? Well, what I like to do is I want to focus on the entire pyramid here. I'm trying to focus on the people in the 3%, and I'm also trying to focus on the people all the way down in the 60%, because even though it's a more drawn out process, if you can ascend somebody up this pyramid, they get to know you down here. Now they realize they have a problem and they're watching your content. Now they're really watching your content and starting to really absorb what you're talking about. Who do you think they're going to go to when they need to buy something, and how easy is that sale going to be? Very easy, right? Because you have moved them through that. Whereas if you just focus on attacking this 3% all the time, it works, but boy, oh boy, is it an expensive, really expensive, I guess, market to try and get into, because everyone's going after that. So you're just competing against hundreds of other coaches who are also, like, let's say for the example, offering weight loss. And it's not to say this doesn't work. It does definitely work. But if you're just hitting that 3%, what about the other 97% of people who just need to be a little bit more warmed up? Crazy, right? How many other people are out there that you could sell to? It's just not, you just don't sell to them right now because they're not in that buying mode. However, if you utilize the sales funnel that I'm going to walk you through, you'll start to see how I'm starting to cover this entire pyramid, and I'm really focusing on like long-term buyers and long-term audience building. So hopefully that makes sense with the larger market formula. And I'm going to bounce back between that and the actual sales funnel here just to really make it sink in for you. But here's the actual Freedom Coach Formula sales funnel that I'm now focusing on at the moment. So initially, what I was running, and I still am, I've just added more complexity and more layers to it, is I was running a content ecosystem. Wow, that was a terrible circle. I'm running a content ecosystem and Instagram profile visit ads, focusing on posting 4 to 5 times a week with 3 to 10 plus Instagram stories daily. I was then doing a little bit of YouTube, and then I had a VSL video built. Then I was focusing on having conversations, booking in sales calls, putting an offer in front of their face, and then focusing on onboarding them into my program, focusing on using a hybrid coaching model, community, results, case study, and then what that would do is that would fuel back into the sales funnel. So that's what I was using, and that's what I've been using right up until the last couple of weeks, where now I'd like to diversify things further based on what I showed you with my goals at the beginning of this video. So when we look at a sales funnel, you have to understand, just like the larger market formula, there are different stages people need to go through, and you need to filter a lot of people out as well. the first stage of actually getting a sale is getting attention from somebody. Your prospects are walking around out there in the world completely unaware that you even exist. So the first thing that we need to look at doing is actually getting this cold traffic with the goal of creating awareness. So how do we get the awareness? Well, we can be posting content. So this would just be, and in this case, I'm just using Instagram still. We can run Instagram profile visit ads. So it's like hey, if you're trying to lose weight and get in shape, follow my Instagram account and I'll show you how it's done. I'm sure you've seen some of those floating around. Then what I've also recently added in as of the last sort of 4 to 5 days is a free lead magnet. So I'm running paid ads out to the cold market and I'm saying, hey, if you're a fitness coach and you want to learn how to transition online, and if you want me to actually show you what that looks like, here is the book funnel itself, which is running at the moment. It's called the 10K a month blueprint. And literally all this is a free download. So if you're a fitness coach and you haven't jumped on this yet, then you probably want to jump on it. You can click on the link in my Instagram bio if it's still there at the time of you watching this. So my goal with this free book is just to give something for free. Why? Well, what I'm doing is I'm creating awareness. So I'm getting more attention. Now I've got 3 levels, or I guess 3 channels of attention to come into my world. Somebody could see a piece of content that I post on the socials. They could see one of my Instagram profile visit ads running, and then they could also swipe my free lead magnet. It may be all 3 of those, but essentially now I've got the attention. Okay, now that I've got their attention, in this day and age, I'm truly convinced that trust is down and skepticism is up. It's like they're at their worst. So we need to build and establish trust and connection with our audience to make them want to buy. And if you think about it, this awareness level, tofu, top of funnel, correlates beautifully down into this section here of the funnel. So I'm kind of getting the 80% of the market. I'm being like, hey, come and check out my stuff. Come and see my stuff. Some people aren't even aware they have a problem, but they might see a video of mine and go, shit, I've got that issue. Now they become problem aware. Now they follow my account and now they're watching. I've got their attention. So now I've just gotten 80%, right? Again, none of these people are ready to buy though. So this again is a delayed sales process here, but it makes it much easier in the long run. Then we look at the middle of funnel here. So we've got building trust and connection. So here's what I'm focusing on now is I'll be posting to my feed 4 to 5 times a week. Reels, images, carousels. I'm doing a combination of it all. Not trying to go viral, but more so nurture my audience. I'm posting 3 to 10 daily stories on my Instagram. Again, this is like come along with me. There are call to actions, random stuff, teaching my audience, just literally everything to try and nurture them. I'll also be emailing my email list 4 to 5 times a week. This is the second audience bucket that I'm now building. How do I build that? Well, this free lead magnet jumps straight in here, right? It's building a list. That's my whole point. It's like, hey, you can have this free thing, but in exchange, I need your first name and your email so you can go into my list and I can warm you up. I'll then have frequent YouTubes going out. At the moment, it's a little bit inconsistent, I'll be honest, but I'm looking at one video every 1 to 2 weeks. I'll be then launching retargeting ads. So these are about to go live a day or 2 after this video being published, but essentially this retargeting ads, well, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be retargeting my Instagram followers and my email list. So now, because these people have seen my stuff a few times, now they probably just need, if you think back to the larger market formula here, now they're probably in info gathering mode, and those people who are just on this line here, they just need to be pushed over into buying now. They might just need the right offer put in front of their face. So my retargeting ads will be a VSL funnel. What's that? Well, if we jump in here, here's what this page looks like. So I've got a headline here, very enticing headline. I'll have a video sales letter here where I'm like just walking through a process and obviously trying to sell at the same time. The video's not in there just yet. They can then scroll down and they can see just a plethora of client results and client proof. Again, if you're a beginner coach, you can see now like you're like, shit, I don't have any of this stuff. Exactly, right? That's why you need to do this at different stages. So I've just got all the social proof inside of here, and then they can actually apply to work with me. So what they'll actually do is when they click on this button is they'll fill in an application. Once this application gets filled in, they actually get driven back to my Instagram. Why? Because I want to vet that person. I want to see what you look like, and then we're going to have a conversation. That conversation, well, I'll then send you an offer doc if I think you're a good fit with an offer in it, and then you'll jump on board. So it's as simple as that, right? So that's one of the benefits of running retargeting ads is it's now just getting in front of my prospects again and again and again and again. Now, the other nurturing thing I'm looking at doing inside of Mofu is running monthly paid masterclasses. So what I'll do is each month inside of Freedom Coach is I'll run a bonus call for all my clients where I'm going to educate them on something really cool. And then I'm going to sell tickets to that to my audience, my Instagram followers and my email list, and whoever else clicks on it for a small fee where I'm creating customers. So when somebody buys this cheap thing who's not my client, well, now they get a taste of what it's like. It's like an appetizer, right? It's like just a little bite. They go, wow, that was really powerful and that was really beneficial. I wonder what it's like to work with Josh. So now I'm creating really easy clients from these customers, because if you think about the journey so far, they've seen my content, they've seen my ads, they've probably downloaded my free thing, they've probably been on my email list, they've been watching my stories for the last couple of months, they probably bought my masterclass. Now think about how easy it's going to be selling to someone with a simple conversation, with a simple document, with the right offer in it, turning them into a client. So much easier. When you think about, and there's a lot of complexity here, yes, and I get that, but think about just trying to target this 3%. There is a lot of convincing that needs to happen here. Whereas you can do a lot of the trust and connection building down through this area of the pyramid with your content and your retargeting and your stories and everything else. So now when it comes time to actually sell, it's almost like literally just like a, hey, how does it work and how much is it? That's it, right? And then they turn into a client. Literally as simple as that. Here's the cool thing about this whole funnel is once they come and down here and turn into a client, you get them some great results. Probably zoom in on this so you can see a bit better. Once you get them great results, you get them to send you some testimonials, right? Some screenshots of their results, or it could be a video, a selfie video, an interview, whatever. And all that does is then funnel straight back in here. So now this becomes self-fulfilling. Can you see now how this will essentially help the process of getting leads to chase me rather than me chasing leads? That 3% of that pyramid, I'm chasing leads, I'm chasing clients. Whereas if I flip that, I get some trust from you first, I give you some free things, the reciprocity kicks in, you want to follow, you start consuming. Now think about how much easier it is to get leads to swim up the stream rather than leads to swim downstream. So this just funnels in, and honestly, this just fucking makes sense. This is the easiest way I can leverage myself. This application funnel is littered with automations and systems in the background where once somebody fills this in, I get an email, that application gets added to a tracker, I get pinged on my phone, I can then message that person straight away via automation. Like, it's very, very hands off. The only nitty gritty part is just making sure that I'm putting the right thing in front of these people at the right time, which is going to be constantly reviewing my niche, constantly reviewing my offer, and constantly reviewing my content and paid ads that are running and being put in front of people to make sure that those boxes are checked, and then this funnel will just work. And the crazy thing is, even though I haven't launched a couple of pieces of this, everything else that's in place right now is running extremely easy. So it's like I've got all areas covered. You can't escape me when you enter this funnel. That's the amazing thing. And if you're focusing on building trust and connection, people buy into you via your personal brand, they walk themselves through this process. They ascend themselves up through this pyramid. So it's like it just makes sense, right? I can't explain it another way, but it's just like this is the best way I believe, and I've been thinking on this for the last couple of months. This is the best way I believe that I can scale my business and my clients' businesses further. Simply, once you get this built right, if you boil it down, all you really need to do is make sure that you're posting content, posting stories, emailing your list a few times a week, making sure that you're putting frequent offers in front of your audience, and the rest of the system will just do its thing. All you got to do is sell to clients and coach them. It's so much more hands-off, and it's such a more cost-effective way of doing things as well. Because the only ads you need, like the lead magnet itself, I'm getting leads for $1.40 at the moment. And if I can get somebody to buy one of my masterclasses, well, heck, if I'm spending $100 a week on ads and just one person buys a masterclass, like let's say I get 4 masterclass purchases, that liquidates my ad spend on the front end. So now I'm getting free leads. If I do a good job, they'll turn into clients, and then the rest falls into place. So that's the overarching system. Hopefully you got a little bit of value out of that, and you can kind of see where I'm at here. Again, I just want to sort of finish this video off here by just looking at modeling the rise. So these are the things that I'm doing and trying and testing at the moment. Heck, all of this stuff could fall flat on its face for all I know, But that's the beauty about me doing the testing, is now you don't have to go and try and do that yourself. And then it's like, oh shit, this didn't work. And you just wasted 3 months. I'm happy to cop the blow on that one there. So hopefully you got a lot of value out of that video. But again, just a real raw, uncut version of sort of where I'm at and the things that I'm focusing on in my business. All of this stuff, once I prove and validate it, which 80% of this is proven and validated right now. There's just the VSL funnel that needs to be launched, which will be launched by the end of this week, which is in 2 or 3 days time from the time of filming this. And I know that's going to work for sure. The cool thing is I'll be able to package all this up, I'll systemize it, and I'll template it, and I'll give it to my clients inside of Freedom Coach, and then we'll just wipe the fucking floor with the competition, right? So if you're not in the program, then now's your chance to probably reach out, because I dare say I'm going to be boosting the prices, especially once I get this locked in, because I know that this is a really dialed in fucking system, especially if you're someone who's looking for a life where you don't have to work a ton and you can just get clients to chase you. But here's the thing, the system that I use, it's a more drawn out process. I'm thinking in decades. I'm not thinking by making $1 million next week. This shit takes time, but this is the stuff that's going to last long term, and this is the stuff that doesn't die off. Trust me. Hope you got a lot of value. See you in the next video.